teams that would have been expected big things at the start of the league. But, you know, it was lacklustre, quite lacklustre, I think. Obviously, Kilkenny made quite a few changes. Again, they rested Richie Hogan and the rest of Killian Buckley from the last day, so they made a few changes. And maybe everyone felt before the game advantage Clare. But, you know, typical Kilkenny, they fought to the death and, you know, got their chances. And when they got them, they took their goals. And Clare just seemed to be a team low in confidence at the moment.
Anthony, it's been an interesting week in Clare hurling between the statement issued by the players and the management and now facing relegation. What do you think will be the reaction in the Banner County?
Well, sure, people will be disappointed with the result, Marty. Most people expected us to beat that Kilkenny team that was out today. Maybe that seeped into the camp a little bit as well. Probably be facing 6 first choice players from Kilkenny next week, and most people will expect that Kilkenny will kick on. That doesn't always turn out to be the case, but there's been too much talk, Marty, in the media, too much stuff like that. If that troubles a camp, and we need to get away from that as quickly as possible to get settled for the championship. No matter what happens next Sunday, if we're relegated, so be it. You must get on with it. We play Limerick at the end of May, and we have to be ready for that. So, no, it's just too much stuff, and we need to quell it very quickly and get back to the hurling and concentrate on that.
Just talk about Kilkenny for a moment, Liam. It's kind of clear already that they're missing JJ Delaney. They seem to have problems in the full back line.
Yeah, I think it is. You know, I suppose, you know, they're probably still adapting to life without JJ. You know, I suppose he's been such an iconic figure in the last number of years on the edge of the square. And I suppose they're trying to get Paul Murphy to sit. I mean, we all know what an exceptional defender Paul Murphy is. And, you know, the job he's done. I mean, he's been borderline hurler of the year for the last 2 years for Kilkenny. But, you know, just that JJ brings that stability. And I think, you know, looking at the last 2 games, it seems to me that Paul Murphy is a lot more comfortable on the corner, hurling ball, and I suppose he's finding it hard to adapt. Now, obviously, Jackie Tyrrell went off injured as well today. The question is, will he be missing? I think, obviously, Joey Holden was exceptional for Ballyhale last week at full-back. Is he going to be the next full-back? But I would say Brian Cody still will be a little bit concerned in terms of who's going to take up the number 3 jersey, because I think that jersey is going to be hugely important for them come the championship. Certainly
from what we saw in the All-Ireland Club final, Joey Holden is a very versatile player. I mean, we saw him wing-back last year, but he adapted to playing full-back rather easily.
Well, he is, but, you know, ultimately, I know, you know, obviously the club player is a little bit different. You know, if you're going to be able to come up against the likes of the Patrick Horgans and the Seamus Callans and the really good full forwards, you know, that's really going to be the test. And I think, you know, full back is a very specialised position. I think, you know, we would have seen Joey Holden very much operating in the wing back slot. So, you know, JJ done it. He adapted from wing back into full and made it his own. But I think that's the big question coming into championship for Kilkenny.
If Kilkenny apparently have problems in the full back line, do you think the Clare have problems in the full back line?
Yeah, well, I just think Clare, as I said earlier, you know, is probably a team lacking on confidence at the moment. And I'm not sure he knows exactly who 2, 3 and 4 are going to be. I think we all know the quality of hurler that they have, you know, some exceptional players. But again, today, you know, Davy, he moved out Keane Dillon out onto the half-forward or half-back line, and he eventually had to move him back into the inside back line again. You know, we've seen Paul Flanagan. I mean, John Joe Farrell, who done really, really well today, but, you know, he wouldn't have I suppose, the name of some of the, you know, class Kilkenny forwards. And, you know, he had 3 different markers today. And, you know, again, like balls like this that should be just mopped up, in my view, you know, ends up where John Power breaks in and should have really had a goal. He hits it off the post. And just, you know, I suppose I go back to last year when I seen them play against Tipperary and Thurles, and they were bombing out to the ball. Everything, you know, you could see the confidence that was in their play, and they were first to the ball. Today, I thought the inside backline for Clare, they were nervous. They weren't attacking the ball. As a result, they were leaving it there, and in the air they were being battered. And I think it's a big problem for Davy Fitz. If, you know, 2, 3 and 4 really needs to bed down, I think. Whatever happens next Sunday, as Anthony said, but the most important thing he'll need to know coming out of the match in Nolan Park is who's going to be his full back line come the championship against Limerick, because they'll need to be very sturdy come the middle of May.
And isn't it amazing, Liam, what cameras can pick up in terms of body language and in the space of 35 minutes?
Yeah, I guess, you know, we knew going down today it was never going to be you know, the hustle and bustle, but I mean, you can see Davy's reaction at half-time when he passed Brian, and 35 minutes later when he realised, God, you know, at that stage Galway were a point up and he was 3 points up, and maybe they were going to avoid relegation. But when all that changed, I think the body language changed. So I think we'll see, we won't see them smiling at each other when they pass each other on the touchline at half-time next week, I have a feeling.
Very like championship next week.
It might be a relegation playoff, but it will be like championship. Thanks very much, lads. So Kilkenny win, but relegation still looms largely on the horizon. So what happens next? Well, much would depend on what took place in Parnell Park when Galway came to the capital. We'll have a report on that match, plus a more detailed